Great good morning, everyone. It is 9/11 on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This beautiful Wednesday, April 22nd, year of our Lord, 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because we are fixing the world that the establishment and the Democrat Party blew up. It's also the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, having lost them earlier this year, like Alexander Piella, Blakely, William Michalski, Plains Township, Robert Kimsel, Bloomsburg. Veterans we salute thanks to John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality Group. The United States of America, founded with the certain knowledge and understanding by our amazing, irreplaceable, and profoundly wise founding fathers who knew that government should not, could not, cannot, and never shall be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things. Because government power always means less freedom, less liberty, and less choice for Americans. These founding fathers knew that government power, because of human nature, should only be a necessary evil designed to protect an organized society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, even if they use it to just lie. Now, because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, many of them rejects from around the world, they and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so, we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. A gentle warning, this is not a safe harbor for stupidity. Such foolishness will be roundly and, dare I say, harshly attacked throughout the program. We will not suffer fools gladly, and their foolishness and ignorance, willful or otherwise, will be called out with intent, purpose, and vigor, designed and sadly necessary to save our great republic from evil, senselessness, and weakness. All of those things can bring this noble and successful experiment down if we do not honor our obligations and aggressively oppose it, as happened in Virginia just yesterday. I cannot wait to see the turnout figures. It's going to be normal people didn't turn out to vote. Well, it wasn't important. It didn't matter. And here's the disaster. Virginia, for those of you who weren't following it, and you should have been, I got to tell you, Virginia has voted. It's the most convoluted thing. It's something only left-wing lunatic Democrats could think of. They had a ballot measure to override the Virginia Constitution. temporarily. And what it did is it gerrymandered the state to such an extent that their congressional delegation is currently 6 Democrats, 5 Republicans. The gerrymandering is to such an extent that it's probably going to be 10 Democrats and 1 Republican. They basically took the cities and absorbed every rural area and basically made them all into far left-leaning Democrats. And remember what Northern Virginia is all about, the most heavily populated part of the state. It is about government creatures of government. And I don't mean just government employees. I mean the people with the NGOs that we always talk about, the people with the nonprofits who are sucking the teat so hard that it is raw. They're the people who get the $1 trillion plus a year out of the federal government and the types of people who get the other trillions out of state and local governments. Yep. So it's really crazy and sad. And again, it's about turnout. You're going to find that out as you follow the Virginia story. Oh, well, if 5%, it was closer than expected. I knew that they were going to win. There's no reason to bring it up. It was a fait accompli. Fait accompli. You've got to remember the Democrats and the establishment that sucks the tit of government. They are dedicated to government. They depend upon it. They love it. It is their God. And they're going to vote for their God. Small g. So normal people who have normal lives are going to get out voted. Once in a while, and maybe only because of Trump, I hope it's more than that, normal people will come out and vote. Well, they didn't again in Virginia. And the sickos have won. And it could make a huge difference. It could make a huge difference. I mean, you got a dumbbell like James Carville coming out and saying exactly what the Democrats should do and will, by the way. They'll blow up the filibuster, add Puerto Rico and D.C. as states, pack the Supreme Court, and then there you go. Over. Game over. Once you get 4 senators additional, the game is over. And then you're permanent California, New Jersey, New York, which, and that means the decline of the country is done. It's already baked in. Yeah. The trolls. Oh, well, what did Texas do too? I don't care. Did I talk about Texas? And did I say it was wrong? Look at this is politics. This is what the Democrat left and idiots like you who are texting me do. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's what is. Did I say it was wrong? See, again, here's the problem with these lefty goofballs. And you are idiots. You might be nice people, but you're idiots. You're dumb. Intentionally so. I never said a thing about it being wrong. I never said a thing about it being evil. And so there you go. Like, come on. And as somebody says, typical Democrats, Trump's going to rig elections. So what do? Rig an entire state. I'm telling you, these are sick. These are dumb. Everybody knows the result from Democrat policies. Everybody. They know it. You can go to any state, any city run by Democrats with left-wing Democrat policies, and they're all disaster. It's not, we don't have to guess. We don't have to postulate. We don't have to speculate. The policies of today's Democrat Party are destructive. Now, I'm not saying the House is lost or anything like that. Anything can happen in these few months. And you've got a country where so many people are so impatient. For example, with the Iran conflict, which is absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary to prevent an apocalypse. So there you go. But you do something, and you have these sick, you got Chris Murphy. He is a sick bastard. He's really, these are mentally ill. These people are mentally ill. And by the way, how can you not be when you know the results of your policies? You can see them, you can see the results in Europe. You can see them in Cuba. You can see them in Venezuela. You can see them in China, North Korea, the former Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc. You can see the results of these policies. It's a remarkable thing. So somebody says, so what's taking you so long to move to Florida? Well, I live here. It's my home. My parents are here. My grandchildren are here. I'm stuck in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We got one of the worst mayors in the country. It's fascinating. And people buy this crap. You lose your faith in humanity. You really do. Now, again, Virginia, it's a D.C. swamp. It's the headquarters of the D.C. swamp, Northern Virginia. So, it was going to happen even though normal people got what it was. They actually put on the ballot. And by the way, that's the only chance, in my view, the only possibility that they have to overturn this in the courts is that they actually said that this would make it fair on the ballot initiative. Again, they always say the opposite of what they're doing, and they always accuse you of what they're doing. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy. It's crazy. These people are crazy. And their supporters, you got to say, man, are you stupid, or do you want to be stupid? And since very few people are actually dumb, you've got to say, all right, you're getting something out of it. But there are people who aren't. In fact, they're voting destructively to their own family. Maybe they got something, a family member got a job, or they had a government job from the Democrats or whatever. So they're voting out of tradition for insanity. And here you have probably the least intelligent senator, John Fetterman, calling them out for their lies, that their entire platform, everything the Democrat Party is based upon, is a pile of steaming spit and lies. It's unbelievable. Crazy stuff. But that's where we are. It's not good. You can, New Mexico got a mayor elected Republican by 60-40. Yeah, okay. The trend is not our friend. It is not. And I know that, again, part of what these dumbbells do that are these dummycrats, They talk about winning and losing as if that's the point. Oh, our team won. Well, you're not rooting for the Indianapolis Colts. This actually matters even for your own life, dumbbell. Scary. Oh, Lord. And here we are. All right, I've droned on, but let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We're going to return. Our veterans this hour and this day, as with every hour and every day, brought to you by our friend John Basiliga. And it's Basiliga Hospitality Group Hospitality Week. All kinds of things happening at all of these venues, like the Old Brook Inn, 307, Springbrook Township, the Far Street Tavern, the reimagined neighborhood tradition in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant, and then the class of the area, a modern take, a Terra 519 downtown, an amazing and affordable happy hour, and the Stegmeyer Mansion, an old world take with the same level of luxury. Amazing places. Alexander Piella. He was 89. We lost him March 28th. He was from Blakely. He's survived by his wife, Marie Senko Piella. Graduate of St. Mary's School, Dixon City, and Blakely High School, where he played football for the legendary Papa Bear Henses, which makes Alexander a legend too. He earned an associate's degree in electronics from Penn State University. He worked for General Electric in Utica and Johnson City, New York for 34 years as a quality control and calibration lab technician. Member of St. Mary's Visitation Church in Dixon City, where he was an usher and volunteered for all kinds of things. Member of the American Legion, Dixon City, VFW in Peckville, fourth degree Knights of Columbus in German, career member of the Pennsylvania National Guard for 37 years serving us. He was with the headquarters company of the 2nd Battalion of the legendary 109th Infantry. Headquarters company, 2nd Battalion, 103rd Armor. He served in various positions, including drill sergeant, platoon sergeant, fire support team sergeant, coordinating artillery and mortar fire to the target. He was active in TV repair on nights and weekends. Remember the TV repairman? You depended on him. We had Mr. Knoll. Alexander survived by his wife, Marie, and his sons, his daughters, grandsons, a granddaughter, and other family members. Sadly preceded in death by his brother, Carl, who was killed during World War II in Poland in 1944. Alexander Piella, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group, celebrating Hospitality Week all this week. Make sure you check them out. Well, the AccuWeather forecast. Let's see how much different it is, because I listen to Snedeker on the morning news. Let's see how different it is from Snedeker, but that's why we're the weather station. You get it all. And this is all brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain Resorts as it approaches 50 degrees on Earth Day on Montage Mountain. Today, a passing morning shower or two. Otherwise, clouds giving way to some sun. 65. I don't think it's going to get that warm. We'll see. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 42. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and warmer, 73. Best day of the week, low 41. Friday, mostly cloudy, high 67, low 45. Saturday, chilly with occasional rain and drizzle, high 50, low 42. Sunday, times of clouds and sun, high 59, low 42. And that's your AccuWeather forecast, brought to you by the gang, the great gang at Montage Mountain, swinging into spring as I speak. What does that mean? Well, when we hear that song, it means Tina Morocco's here. She's Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International in Naples, Florida. You can check her out at Sotheby's in Naples, or go right to the source, Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com. Tina, how are you?
Yeah.
We need
I'm
sunshine
great, Bob. How
this
are you?
morning. Thank God you called. We do.
We have lots of sunshine today.
That's it. I know. The weather's perfect. I know.
75 and sunny.
All right. Well, what do you got for us today?
So today, actually already this morning, I'm out in Babcock Ranch. I don't know how much we talked about Babcock Ranch, if any.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Okay. So Babcock Ranch is named after actually the former mayor of Pittsburgh in the early 1920s. He ended up buying all of this land in Florida. This is northeast of Fort Myers. And so he held the land for a long time. In the early 2000s, the Kitson Partners partnered with FPL, and they've created America's first solar-powered city. That's Babcock Ranch. So
wow.
Babcock Ranch, the planned community is about 17,000 acres. It's huge. It's a whole city. It's designed to accommodate about 50,000 people. There's a lot of commercial going in. But it's really cool in that, like, everything is solar powered here. And then the other thing that it's designed for is they wanted it to be the first hurricane-proof city, storm-proof city.
Neat.
So it has been through some big hurricanes. In 2022, we had a big one, and very, very minimal damage here, mostly just landscaping damage. So, it's built to all the best hurricane rated standards, impact glass, best roofs, mostly metal roofs here. So yeah, it's a really cool community, and there's a lot to do out here. There's thousands and thousands of acres of preserve here. So I'd say it's a very, very active community. It's, a lot of people that like hiking and trails and kayaking. There's a huge 700-acre lake over here. And one of the first times I showed properties here a couple years ago, they were doing dragon boat races on the lake. That was something to see.
Babcock.
So, yeah.
Babcock Ranch, huh? Babcock Ranch.
So, yeah, we're in Charlotte County. We're just over the Lee County border. Like I said, we're very close to Fort Myers. If you wanted to go to a beach from here, you'd probably go to either, I would say, Fort Myers Beach or one of the Charlotte County beaches. We're not really close to a beach here. We are close to marinas, though. So if you're a boater and you need to get out, in the salt water, we're not too far from the marinas, but a little bit further from the
that's
beaches.
less expensive too, right? I mean,
It is.
in proportion, your prices are dropping the farther inward you go.
Yeah. Exactly, Bob. Right. And so here in Babcock, we've got properties ranging from, I would say, just around 200,000 to several million. And the differences in those are there's a couple golf courses here. So we have some small condos built around the golf courses, but we also have large estate homes on the lakes. So, I mean, it's a pretty diverse area here. There's a ton of subdivisions here, like golf subdivisions. There's ones that have a lot of amenities. There's ones that have like bare bones and low HOA fees. So there's a lot here, and it's growing tremendously. They just opened another Publix. There's two Publix, which is our grocery store. There's Home Goods. There's, all the commercial that you would want in here already, but it's still growing. I think there's supposed to be 8 charter schools. The high school is enormous. And everybody rides around in golf carts.
Wow. Babcock Ranch. That sounds cool. I wrote down about where we were talking about the other day, and what was that we were even talking about now? That's why I wrote it down. And here's another one I got to write down.
Yeah, and I know. I'm
not writing it down. I'm just calling you. That's it. That's easy. Let's do it the easy way.
Yeah. So I know we have some people from Scranton that live in Babcock Ranch, and actually I'm showing some properties in the next couple of weeks to somebody from Scranton interested. in Babcock Ranch. So, yeah, it's a great neighborhood, and like I said, a lot to do here. Just an interesting solar. Like if you drive past the hundreds of acres, I think it's like 700 or 800 acres of the solar panels that power
Wow.
everything in the communities, the street lights. Everything is powered by solar here.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Babcock Ranch, Tina Morocco,
Yeah.
they will be synonymous in my mind from here on forth. And I thank you. We discover something new every time we talk to you. How is that possible?
I don't know. Eventually, I'm going to run out.
And then we'll rinse and repeat because I want to hear more.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Tina
Perfect.
Morocco, Global Sales Advisor, Sotheby's International, Naples, Florida. You can find her at Sotheby's in Naples or go direct. Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com. Thanks, Tina.
Take care, Bob. Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. I'm so excited for this Joe Nardone concert down at Kirby Center May 2nd. That's the kind of music. I mean, and I always ask them, I said, we'll have interviews Thursday and Friday with artists from that. I always ask them, well, something about this music, it's so evocative of a time and a place. A lot of it was before I was even born. But it just feels great. And that's, Murph tells us, that's the Crystals. This date, 1963. The Do Run Run. Bob Cordaro back on the eponymous program. And, well, let's do this. Because we haven't gotten it done in the last few days. And here she is. The diva of all divas. Lorraine from Hazleton. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Bob.
She's such a diva, she has 2 theme songs.
Well, what are you going to do?
You don't wear your fame well. You really lord it over us.
Are you talking about me or you?
I'm talking to you.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
talking to
I'm
you.
talking to you. Yeah, that's what you think. No. You got it mixed up. You were looking at me in the mirror when you said that.
We don't have any mirrors in the studio. If I look up, I see the bulldog.
Well, that's okay. What are you going to do? When he looks down, he just sees the bull.
No. We have a poem to give. No puns, no attempts at joking.
Yeah, well, I try.
I know, and it doesn't work. So we move
I
it.
can't.
I don't know if you heard it. The bulldog was on with Jason this morning. And I said to him, I said, that's why you're not on the show with me.
Yeah. Who, Jason or the bulldog?
The bulldog.
Well,
you've got a poem for us.
yeah, it's a short one, like I
All
said
right.
yesterday. It's short like me.
We didn't have time yesterday.
Yeah,
but
I know.
We've got a moment now.
Yeah, nobody has time for me. Anyway, I'm only torn between two worlds. It was a good life, yet it also was a bad life. Can those two statements go hand in hand? If you think about it long enough, you might begin to understand. I'm sure there were many times that you laughed. And then came the terrible situations when you cried. Life could have been very difficult to cope with, no matter how hard you may have tried. Oh, how I do long for the good old days, but I do know in my heart that it can never be. Naturally, there were some things I could have done differently. Therefore, I guess I just have to accept the way life is for me.
Very
The
nice.
end.
Very nice. You didn't have to say the end. I knew you were done.
Well,
What do you think? I'm not listening?
what? Well, sometimes there's a pause and you think I'm not done. So I have to make sure. I have to double check.
Well, I'm absorbing it.
Well, I'm glad. That's what I write my poems.
I immerse myself in your poetry. When did you write that?
Oh, I don't have the date on there, but it wasn't too long ago. Not too long ago, in the past couple months.
Any particular inspiration or just what you were thinking that day?
Just what I'm thinking every day.
Okay, fair enough.
That's about it. What you heard is what I think.
Uh-huh.
How's that?
Well, listen, you can't have that bad a day. You could be in on top of a pyramid in Mexico and get shot. I mean,
I know. Well, that's
we had a better day than they did. That's for sure. Those poor people.
I said that's my theory.
Yes.
It could be a rotten, crummy day out, but if you're happy in your heart, that's you could be happy and you could be rotten in your heart, and it could be the sunniest day out.
And
it depends on situations.
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it very much. Always a pleasure, and I'm happy we got through with you today.
Yeah, you're through with me. Thank you.
Well, we are through with you, but we got you through today.
You're talking
all right,
mixed up.
You have something to say for Mark Mayer, don't you?
Yes, I do, Mark. At least you love me. Fuzzy Wuzzy.
All right.
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Thank you, my dear. We appreciate it. Lorraine from Hazleton. We'll take a break. We got the Bloomberg Money Minute. The markets are up. God knows why they're up. God knows why they go down. We'll be back, though. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Yeah, the Beatles. Murph says this is their 7th top 10 UK charts hit in 1 year, 1964. Ticket to Ride. And it reached that height on this date, April 22nd of that year. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Somebody texted in, James Carville may be right this time. He's a jackass. Bob Casey, our governor, made him. He was a fool then. He's a fool now. I mean, a likable fool, but a total fool. He's really dumb. He's a dumbbell. And he's another one of these clowns. They don't care about the country. They care about winning. Oh, we won the election. Oh, that makes me smart because that's how they validate themselves. Because they've got nothing else going. But anyway, when they primary Fetterman, he might become Trump's trump card the last 2 years in office. Well, no. Here's the problem. Please remember this. There are senators like Mitch McConnell and others, and I'm only suspecting him of this, that will not vote to end the filibuster. So this is how dumb James Carville is, and this will give you your warning to never listen to him about anything factual. He's a clown. He even looks like a clown. He looks like a clown with makeup. Anyway, if, let's say, Fetterman switched tomorrow, you still don't have enough votes to overcome the filibuster. So it would have zero impact for Fetterman to switch to Republican. Just remember that. Zero impact. So you just don't listen to the clown. He's just a dumbbell. And I heard it described best. They said he realizes at this point, and not that he never made much sense, that he gets all these clicks and he gets quoted on the news channels, the cable and all this stuff, and Instagram and so forth when he says something crazy and not when he says something normal. So he's gone totally to crazy town. So don't look for any wisdom from him. Please don't. It's a fool's errand. He's a dumbbell. An engaging, funny character, but a dummy. Hey, we want to thank Roach Supply. They're bringing us the live stream. You go to YouTube. You go WILK, Bob Cordaro, and you'll see my smiling moon face and scowling and whatever in between. But Roach Supply, they're the premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania, celebrating 75 years in business. Visit Roach Supply, R-O-C-H-E, roachsupply.com today. Anything kitchen and bath, they're the best. That's why they're in business. 4 generations, 75 years. My Picardo Jewelers watch, speaking of staying power, they've got Raymond Weil, Breitling, Oris, Longines, Michelle, Shinoa, Luminox, Swiss Army, Seiko, Tory Burch, Victorinox, Bulova, G-Shock, and my jewelry gift for Cutie has kept me out of hot water for weeks. So if you're not stopping for a watch, it is an amazing jewelry store. They could do anything. We'll take a break and be back because it's 10:02. Damn right, we ain't backing down. Great good morning, everyone. It's 10:09 a.m. I'm at Cordaro Jewelers Watch. This beautiful Wednesday, April 22nd, 20 and 26 here in the great Northeast. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, celebrating Hospitality Week. The brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we lost this year but celebrate today, thanks to John, like Alexander Piella, Blakely, Michael Michalski, Plains Township, and Robert Kimzel, Bloomsburg. So with history, our great founding fathers, who we will not allow to be canceled, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order after that brief news adjournment, this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising that our unalterable and deep commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. Number of comments on the Carville deal. And by the way, you could reach us at 570-883-0098 by call or by text. Yeah, remember the old comment, this is what you get when you drag a $20 bill through a trailer park? Again, he's so comfortable lying, you can't respect him. And I met him on several occasions. One time, when Bob Casey Sr. was running for governor, 1985 it would have been. He ran in 86 was the election. And I was down at the University of Pennsylvania Law School, so I would walk from West Philadelphia to my home in Center City every day. It was just a few miles. And I stop by the headquarters to see Bob Casey Jr. And who's there but James Carville? And I met him, and he goes, you go to Penn? Yeah, well, I went to Southern Louisiana or whatever. Nonsense. But, I mean, very engaging, very likable, self-deprecating, the whole bit. But we had continuing dialogue throughout the campaign, and I remember telling him the election will be won or lost in Northeast Pennsylvania. The rest of the state's going to be a wash, I promise you. And that's when we were the center of the political universe, because that was Scranton, Bill Scranton III, great guy from an amazing family, against Bob Casey, who was probably our best governor ever. Anyway, arguing. I'm telling him he's got to appear here. He's got to do this here. No, the votes just ain't there. The votes ain't there. Well, Casey won by 70,000 statewide. Guess what the margin was in Luzerne and Lackawanna County in this media market? 70,000 in favor of Casey. Again, dumb. But he had a great shtick, and he played that shtick forever. And then once Casey won, despite Carville's best efforts, well, now he was a rock star. And I could go through the whole career, but it's not worth it. He's a dumbbell. But he's got an act that has sold forever, and he's still selling it. And again, he's one of those guys, and you run across them in politics all the time. They don't care what happens in the country. They don't give a damn. And this is how we got where we are today with the Democrat Party. The billionaire class and the nonprofits and NGOs and the people making 6 and 8, 7 figures off of government largesse and administering, I always put that in air quotes. You could see them on the live stream brought to you by Roach Supply. All of these people in the Beltway and in government centers around the country. They don't care. They just want their team to win so they can keep sucking the teat. They combine with the media and academia to lie. But the ultimate end is the destruction of this country that they hate. The billionaire class. And I'm telling you, these people are evil, and then the people following them, I got to tell you, it doesn't make you much better. It doesn't make you much better. These people don't love this country. And you still have people, Mark Mayer sending me something. John Brennan, the former CIA director, scum. Complete scum. I'm hoping he gets indicted because he's a criminal. He's an inveterate liar. That's all he does is lie. And he goes on these shows, the cable shows, lying, just lying. It's beyond disgraceful. I want him to be indicted, and I don't root for anybody to get indicted. He's scum. Bob B tells me James Carville, somebody needs to feed James Carville another rat. I don't know. I think he looks more like a rat than a snake. Oh, Lord, it's unbelievable. My man Fred Duckman sent me a picture of Bruce Springsteen. I mean, he's a really, there's another dumbbell. Like, they actually believe this stuff. It's insane. They believe what they're saying. Or they force themselves to believe it, which I don't know. You've got criminals and the criminally stupid. Unbelievable. So, I just want to remind you, you could go to live stream, you go to YouTube, and go WILK. I don't think you have to put WILK and Bob Cordaro. And you're going to see the live stream. It's another way to, well, you could watch the show, but it's another way to listen to the show. Sometimes, if you're saying, well, the app isn't working or it's behind or whatever, you can go to that. And it's only a few seconds behind. But it's all brought to you by our friends at Roach Supply, the premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. And they're celebrating 75 years in business, which means they're honest. They've got product and they've got price. There's not much more you want out of it, is there? Visit roachsupply.com today. That's ROCHE. They're really great family business. But I got to tell you, you look, if nothing changes, and if Trump can't get this war done, and by the way, he's got to finish the job. He said, I have all the time in the world. Well, you do. I would rather lose the House and the Senate in the midterms than not finish with Iran. This is existential, meaning it threatens our very existence if we don't finish off this regime in Iran. Somebody texted, I checked out the live stream and saw you smiling and scowling moon face, but I'm not sure of the other face you make. It's either disgust or constipation. ALTS. ALTS back at you. Thank you. No, this is very serious. And again, we lose in an issue election. And I don't care about the cleverness. That's politics. They were sending out Trump says vote yes in Republican areas, posters. That's politics. And by the way, somebody who would lie about everything would certainly lie about that. It's to be expected. But it's a clever tactic. And remember, they're about tactics. They know their policies don't work. They know they failed. They know they're bad for the very people they claim they are for. Government and its growth is anathema to freedom. Freedom is what got us here. And they're milking freedom and using the prosperity the freedom got them and got this country against the very freedom that they claim. Look at these idiots I told you about yesterday at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Most prominently Sam Donaldson and Dan Rather, who media, and by the way, Donaldson wasn't as bad as today's journalists, but he was a left-wing fool, saying that they need to stand up and forcefully stand up to Donald Trump. I don't even know what that means, but nothing good at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And so they're going to do something to try to embarrass Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Because he's against the First Amendment. He's the only president in my lifetime, and I'll go further, in history, who will talk to reporters and answer their questions anytime, anywhere. I wish he would shut the hell up. And he doesn't do it with aides and filters and spinners. He says what he's thinking at the moment. They've never had more transparency ever. So, see, they don't want transparency. So when they say they want the First Amendment, what they're saying is the opposite. We don't want it. We don't want it. We want Obama investigating and prosecuting journalists, people covering the White House like he did to James Rosen, who was then at Fox. We want people who shut down the internet and stop true messages from getting out, like the Biden administration did, with all their might. We want the opposite. We want our left-wing lunatic story told, not the truth, not varying ideas. They don't want free speech. They don't want the First Amendment. Period. That's the fact. Again, always remember, whatever they say, the opposite is true. Whatever they tell you you are doing, as in this case, that's what they want to do. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. The Trogs. Murph tells us this date, 1966, they released their hit Wild Thing on both Atco and Fontana labels. Bob Cordaro back with you. One of the trolls says, Bob, I don't know, it says Henry for some reason. Trump doesn't answer questions he don't like from reporters. How is that the most transparent president? He doesn't respond to stupidity. Dumb people like you. He doesn't respond to them. See, you don't like the answers. The media doesn't like the answers because it calls them out for their hypocrisy. It calls them out for their agenda. Nobody, and you're too dumb to even bring this to, but nobody has responded more candidly and spoken more candidly than Donald Trump. No president ever. By the way, among the beneficial side effects, you've got these anti-American groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has just become a left-wing sicko group. They're supposed to be for civil rights. They morphed into insanity, like the Democrat Party. Now, here's what the indictment alleges, and we know to be true. The SPLC began operating a covert network of individuals who were either associated with violent extremist groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, or who had infiltrated violent extremist groups at SPLC's direction. Unbeknownst to donors, some of their donated money was being used to fund the leaders and organizers of racist groups. At the same time, the SPLC was denouncing the same groups on its website. Guess what? They were creating racism to get money. This indictment is really fantastic. The people who lead the SPLC are evil. They're evil left-wing lunatics. My man Mark Mayer says it. SPLC has been bad for years. Yep. Diversity isn't a necessity. Oh, yeah. They weren't for diversity. They were, and I want you to let this sink in. They were actually paying and funding racists so that they would have an enemy to raise money against. Unbelievable. From Rich McHale, Bob, I'm worried about the direction of the electorate. Virginia just voted for redistricting. It will tip the maps towards democracy or Democrat majority in seats. The midterms are in jeopardy. Well, they are. And I was talking about that early. Unfortunately, the midterms are in jeopardy. They were before this. Unless Iran gets cleaned up quickly, and I said it last hour, I pray that Donald Trump says the hell with the midterms, and I'd rather lose the House and the Senate than not finish this business with Iran. But the going back to the point, it's going to work out about even. Florida's going to do some redistricting. Texas has done so. California has done so. With some idiots in Iowa who screwed up, Republicans who screwed up the redistricting there, the gerrymandering there. But it's going to end up about even when all is said and done. Much ado about very little. Winning and losing the House and even the Senate has to do with things working out for an impatient country, a bunch of babies. A bunch of babies who don't want any inconvenience, even if it's to prevent an apocalypse. Because they're not willing to think what a nuclear-armed Iran would mean to the world and to them and their families. They're not willing to think about it. No, I'm just worried about the gas prices. Don't worry about the Democrats. They're asses. They're disgusting. They didn't care when gas was higher than it is today for no reason under Biden except their cult of the environment. They didn't care. They didn't complain. Kamala Harris told you, well, this is the price for democracy. No, it's not. It's the price for your lunacy. Gas prices now are to save us from an apocalypse. Period. Bob, you're 100% right. Somebody texts in a bunch of stupid people to the Democrat Party doing anything to expand their voter base. Wide open borders, transgender population was at 0.3%. Biden raised it to 2.8 million, now 1%. They scam innocent children and people used for votes. That's what they do. This Democrat Party, today's Democrat Party, is a sickening, evil disgrace. You could give any policy position, and it's dumb on its face. Every policy position of today's Democrat Party has failed either in this country or elsewhere. And they don't care because it gives them power. It gives them prestige. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll come back after our great sponsors, and we will talk about a great veteran after this. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour. This day and every day brought to you by our man, John Basiliga. today. And all this week, we featuring Basiliga Hospitality Group because it's Hospitality Week at all the Basiliga Hospitality Group restaurants, bars. Like the Old Brook Inn, Springbrook Township, 307. It's awesome. Far Street Tavern on Far Street in Trips Park. The amazing section of West Scranton, a reimagined neighborhood tradition. Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. And everywhere I've told people to go, all these three, they say, wow, that was great. Fine dining, yeah, the best in Northeast Pennsylvania. The most beautiful restaurants. Let's do an old world take. Sit in the old drawing room and have an amazing cocktail at the Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. And then go up to Atera 519 for their very affordable happy hour. Downtown Scranton. These places are amazing, I'm telling you. William Michalski. He was 82 when we lost him March 14th. He was from Plains Township. He passed away unexpectedly, suffering a seizure while attending church services at St. Peter and Paul Church in Plains. He was born in that great town of Plains back in 1944. Graduate of Plains Memorial High School. Member of the Pennsylvania 109th, the legendary 109th Field Artillery National Guard. 1st Battalion, Battery C, 1965 to 1971, earning the rank of corporal. He was employed as an engineering mechanic and machinist at Tops Chewing in Duryea for over 40 years until retiring in 2005. A man of great faith and a devout Catholic. He was a member of St. Peter and Paul Church, Plains, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 401, the Great North End Slovak Club. Bill enjoyed being with his friends, neighbors, and family more than words can describe. He loved to read. He loved to listen. He was devoted to his church, faith, and Jesus. But most of all, he loved his family. He always considered his grandchildren and sons his greatest accomplishments. He taught them that everything around them is a gift and the time we spend here on earth is borrowed. Enjoy it as long as it lasts and never take it for granted. He also told them, be humble, grateful, a giver, and love. His family says he truly left the world a better place. Surviving are his sons, Michael and Jamie, his grandchildren, 4 of them, and other family members. William Michalski, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality Group, where it is Hospitality Week at all of their amazing venues. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the amazing gang up at Montage Mountain Resorts. It's always a little different than Snedeker, so I love it. We get it all here at WILK. Today, a passing morning shower or two, otherwise clouds giving way to some sun. High 65. It ain't going to get there. It's only 51 at Montage Mountain right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 42. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and warmer, as high as 73, and a low of 41. Best day of the week. Friday, mostly cloudy, 67 degrees, low 45. Saturday, chilly with occasional rain and drizzle, high 50, low 42. Sunday, times of clouds and sun, it'll only be 59, low 42. And what's fascinating about that, I heard Snedeker early in the week saying Sunday might be the best day of the week. Well, it ain't going to be. That's why you got to listen to the weather here. Brought to you by Montage Mountain Resorts. They mean weather. They mean it. Simon and Garfunkel released their hit Mrs. Robinson this date, 1968. And before that, there you see the left-wing tactics. Somebody takes a conservative position or is a member of the police, and they come after you like animals. Somebody texted in, climate change isn't an apocalypse worth saving ourselves from. No, it's a scam. You don't get it yet. You didn't get the memo yet. They're making it up. They're making it up to accumulate power. I'm going to play a Bernie Sanders thing later. He's getting interviewed by Joe Rogan. And he's talking about the climate change and the warming of the planet. And Joe Rogan says, actually, science is proving that we're in a cooling period. He didn't even know how to respond. It's all a lie. Now, why do I know that it's a lie? Because there could be scientists on the other side. Why do I know it's a lie? Because their main solution was battery-powered cars, which requires and does more damage, if that's what you want to call it, to the environment, net between the tires, the manufacture, the mining, and our inability to even know what to do with the batteries, never mind the fires that'll happen in the meantime. It's fake. It's all phony. I can't believe you don't get it yet. You've been indoctrinated that heavily. Why is Leonardo DiCaprio, and by the way, let's think of this. They had their big, whatever they call it, the CO conference. They clear cut for miles the Amazon forest in Brazil so that they could drive comfortably to the conference. And then they all flew jets, private jets, to the climate conference. You don't see what phonies these people are? You don't get that they're lying to feather their own bed? Please, do not be willfully ignorant anymore. None of them care about it, and their primary solution is a total scam. By the way, nothing wrong with electric cars. Nothing wrong with battery-powered cars. They're beautiful. They don't help the environment one bit. You see the dummy from GM? They had a demonstration. And one of the reporters intelligently asked, well, where does the power come from? Knowing that about 25% of the electricity we produce in this country comes from coal, which is supposed to be the evil of all evils. And the woman said, oh, from in the building. People are insane. This is why this is the sanctuary of sanity. They're telling you things that they know or should know are lies. And by the way, they don't care either way. Do you know how many climate threats we are subject to? From gamma rays to super volcanoes to asteroids to climate change, which happens naturally and dramatically, and nobody knows why. They could speculate. They could guess. There are so many environmental threats, it's off the charts. Mankind is not a significant one of them. I'll have to play you the George Carlin clip. He talks about the conceit of thinking that we could take a planet with existing for 4.5 billion years and do damage. This is Carlin. not a conservative. Hey, my Bloomberg or my Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's time for Bloomberg. That means it's 10:50 on the spot. By the way, I'm not done with this environmental scam yet. Do you notice how none of them are talking about it, even though the world's going to end in 2030? Did you notice that? It's just an issue to win. It's a narrative that you've fallen for, obviously. Yeah, climate's going to change, but we're going to have very little to do with it. And by the way, I'm not talking laissez-faire on the environment. You got to have clean water, clean air. We got to get them to stop spraying our skies. By the way, Jackson Brown, that was. Murph says his first top 10 charts hit with Dr. My Eyes at number 10, this date, 1972. No. It's a scam. It's a political issue only. We've got to be good stewards of the planet and our environment. But the whole Green New Deal is a scam. Why is Al Gore living in a 12,000 square foot house which emits more carbon than entire neighborhoods? But he's telling you you've got to pay double for gas. Please tell me why that is. It's a scam, and they became rich off it, and they're phony. These Hollywood clowns going around in their yachts, they'll emit more carbon dioxide than you will in your lifetime in a week. Stop falling for their scam. Yeah, we're under environmental threat. We're a lonely, tiny planet in a huge universe. Anything could happen. But I'm worried more about super volcanoes than I am. How about the warming of the ocean scam? They didn't tell you that 20,000 new underwater volcanoes were found that were heating up the ocean. They didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that the temperature hasn't changed in 130 years on this planet. It's a scam. Took me a long time to come to that conclusion. It's a scam. Joe, I'm going to quickly, Joe, I apologize because I blathered on.
I can hold on. I can hold on.
I got to hold on if you can, because I've got a guest coming after the news. I want to finish the hour though, even though my Ricardo Jeweler watch tells me it's 11. Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa, for April 22nd. She said, when I was crossing into Gaza, I was asked at the checkpoint whether I was carrying any weapons. I replied, oh yes, my prayer books. Saint Teresa, Mother Teresa, for April 22nd. We'll take a break for the news, and then we'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Great good morning, everyone. It is 11:08 and change on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This beautiful Wednesday, April 22nd, Earth Day, year of our Lord 2026, here in the great Northeast. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, where it is Hospitality Week. We will honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John, like William Michalski, Plains Township, Alexander Piella, Blakely, and Robert Kimzall, Bloomsburg. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. Guys, I after they stopped talking about climate change, I thought that most people would then get, and I'm not saying because Trump said it's a scam, I thought most people would get that it's a scam. I really did. But apparently there's the hardcore of those indoctrinated who think that human activity is holding the environment of the planet Earth in the balance. Well, it isn't. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with increasing mileage on cars, mileage standards on cars reasonably. See, but then you start mandating battery-powered cars, which are worse for the environment. What are we supposed to do with people who don't want to get that? By the way, I just got sent this over the transom. Bulldog, are we ready with Biden? Because I want, after I read this, we're going to have to go to the Biden banner disgrace. And thank you to JB for sending it. Newly released FOIA door logs show that former President Joe Biden did not enter the Oval Office once after the 2024 election. He was president for another 75 days. In that time, his handlers likely just kept him away while Barack Obama, George Soros, Elizabeth Warren, and Adam Schiff ran our country, according to those same door logs. A Justice Department spokesman said this was, sadly, one of the bigger cases Pam Bondi dropped the ball on. I want that to sink in. Don't forget the $93 billion that went out the door at the Energy Department. Joe Biden did not enter the Oval Office once after the 2024 election. The sickening disgrace that is Joe Biden is being honored wrongfully. Sickeningly. And I saw it yesterday, and there's no paintballs. Somebody cleaned it off. The Biden banner, hometown hero banner, stolen valor, day 128. The Green Ridge Neighborhood Association disgracefully and now knowingly is trying to steal the valor of our actual veterans, and there are beautiful veterans all down North Washington Avenue. People to be honored, people to be respected. And scumbag took and took and took, and so did his family for 50 years, returning nothing to this city and this area. Tell the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association on their Facebook page, on their website, take the banner down. Joe Biden, the banner disgrace, stolen valor, day 128. Somebody texts in, Bob, you're right about Carville and Biden, two snake oil salesmen that took advantage of poor and uninformed people. And they're reminding me, please don't forget the stolen valor Biden banner. Take this fraud to the woodshed. He disgraced himself and had no right to take the good, hardworking taxpayers of Scranton and Northeast PA with him. Biden, total jackass, fool, and failure. Yep. Absolute disgrace. Now we find out he didn't enter the Oval Office after the election. Wow. It's absolutely stunning. All right, let's go to Joe. He's been patient with us. Joe from Plains. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Hey, listen, I wanted to talk to you. I listened to a radio show yesterday, and I couldn't believe the amount of lies and misrepresentations I heard. This person took a call from a guy named Joe who called wondering why that we didn't have our best negotiator in Iran, in Pakistan, who he was trying to make fun of Trump at the time. And the person in the who took the call had nothing to defend the Republicans, who, although they claim to be Republican, they agree with the Democrats all the time. But this guy, he was criticizing the people that are over there trying to work out a deal with Iran, while probably John Kerry's out there representing Iran, right? Yeah. And that's part of his party.
John
right?
Kerry actually chased the representatives of Iran. He chased after them when they did a dramatic walkout of negotiations to beg them to come back in. We handed them everything.
And this guy, his party is the one who did that, and he's criticizing Donald Trump.
Well, obviously a stupid
trying
person.
to work out a deal. I mean, this show was so full of lies. I mean, they got into it about the news story that you were talking, that was on the news a minute ago with Kash Patel. He's suing for $250 million.
Yep.
The reporter for the Atlantic cited 20 unknown sources for this story, right? And the host of this show, you know, made it sound like these 20 sources were credible, right? Without mentioning the 51 sources who said that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation, right? And this is a person who claims to be a Republican, but doesn't defend Republicans. They get along with the Democrats much better. I mean, she criticized the whole administration, and at the same time, you had Pete Buttigieg off for 2 months on
maternity leave.
Maternity leave, right? And nobody knew about it until.
By the way, never forget this. Buttigieg also was the same ass who had his car, car driven, would drive his bike to within a block of his office, and then they'd take it out of the back of the truck for him, and he'd ride the last half a mile.
I remember
these are insane people.
He's also the same guy who wasn't around when East Palestine was being poisoned.
Yep.
Right? then you had the energy secretary who was stealing baggage from women's clothing from baggage at the airport.
The guy in charge of disposing of nuclear waste. It's insane.
And Lloyd Austin, right, disappeared for 2 weeks. But this guy, they criticized this administration when they had that administration, and it's just unbelievable that the host of that show had nothing to say.
And now we find out that Biden wasn't even in the Oval Office for the last 75 days. It's insane.
We pretty much knew that, but then maybe Richard Levine was probably calling the shots.
But these are profoundly wacky people. They're profoundly wacky.
I just wanted to point out the kind of things that we're listening to. You got to start questioning the people and their agendas that are on these talk shows.
Well, they got Trump derangement syndrome on both ends of my show. I mean, it's just we do. There's so they're going to do what they do, which is fine. Right. They're lovely people, but very confused.
I mean, this one caller called in early in the show and said, I can't listen anymore because all you do is bash Trump. And this person who runs the show says, we didn't even talk about him when they did talk about him for 20 minutes about his numbers.
I control my show. That's it. We keep it as a sanctuary of sanity. We always will. Hey, we got to go, Joe. Thank you, my man. JB sent me this. Do you remember when Joe Biden commuted the sentence of the Kids for Cash judge? Scranton Mayor Paige Cognetti said that doesn't take away Biden's contribution to Northeast Pennsylvania. Now, I'm still waiting to hear what that contribution is. What is it? What was the contribution? No one has been able to tell me anything he's done for Northeast Pennsylvania. And yet he's disgracing us with an expressway and a street, which I won't acknowledge anymore. I'm done. Given to us by Mayor Cognetti and Billy Gaughan, the boy king. And as JB points out, remember, it's a picture of Biden. The people you are arguing with thought this man was competent. We'll take a break and be back. That's a nice song. Murph tells us this date, 1974. The LA-based band Redbone, never heard of them. I heard the song. I love the song. Earned a gold record for their hit, Come and Get Your Love. Number 5 on the charts, and they were the first, how about this, Native American band to achieve a top 5 hit. That's great. Boy, Murph, he finds them. I love it. I do like that song a lot. JB sent me, Democrats during Biden, when the prices were higher than they are now. Biden doesn't control gas prices. Oh, and you remember the lies? Putin's price hike. Well, when that failed because prices had gone up before Putin even attacked Ukraine, then they said, oh, it's the greedy oil companies. Well, then that failed because the profitability was apparently not enough to pretend that that lie was true. Then they said it's the gas station owners. This is what they do. This is what, again, the Democrat Party, their entire policy, all their policy platform is based on lies. Total lies. Sad. Unbelievable. Somebody said, right on, Bob LTS, the climate changes. It always has. How do these idiots get such power except that idiots listen to them? Another says, come on, man, if we pay more taxes, the climate change will just go away. On the other side of it, now you're a scientist, LOL. No, you don't have to be a scientist. See, you didn't listen to a word I said. If the world was going to end, would Al Gore be emitting that much CO2? Would the climate conferences emit that much CO2 and clear-cut the Amazon forest? Yeah. Another top of the hour's news quotes the Atlantic. You can't get more ridiculous than that. Wasn't it the Atlantic that told us there was Russian collusion? That told us COVID started with a bat? That told us Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack? That the Afghanistan withdrawal was a complete success? You nailed it. Somebody else is not climate change. It's called pollution. That's what it was before Al Gore changed the name to global warming. Yeah, then they rebranded it again to climate change. That's another giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. Gore did it for fame, profit, and to expand the Democrat Party for younger voters. Yep. Somebody points out Biden did go into the Oval Office. See, this is how they talk. This is how the goofball dummy-crats talk. Biden did the farewell Oval address from the Oval Office on January 15th. He didn't use the Oval Office for 75 days. Dummy. It's unbelievable. Oh, Lord. So then again, here's who they are. Lower gas prices under Biden. I mean, it's stupid. This is how stupid they are. This is how stupid. It's unreal. And they'll just keep doing it. Bob, as the old adage goes, the bee doesn't try to convince the fly that honey is better than spit. Not sure you're going to get anywhere trying to convince those flies to take down that Biden sign, but appreciate the effort. LTS, says Bob K. Yeah, we'll continue. I don't care. It's not like it's not that hard to call them stupid, to call them disgraceful, and to call out the lie of the Biden banner. Well, look they all vote based on lies. They all vote based on lies for Democrats. They're either too stupid to know the difference, or they don't care. So I didn't expect we were going to impact them. I just thought that they would do the right thing at some point. We'll see. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. We'll keep going because it allows us to point out what a disgrace they are. And I've got no problem with that. It's insanity, though, I'm telling you. By the way, JB sending me one more great thing. There's many, but one I'm going to point out from going back to our friend the Pope, from attorney Lynn Wood. She reminds us, John F. Kennedy stated that as president, his loyalty would be to America and the Constitution first. He would not take orders from the Pope on public policy, and his religion would remain a private matter. Yep. Oh. And back to the gas issue from JB. Trump gas hits $3.96 while taking on the world's top state sponsor of terrorism. Biden gas hit $5.02 while canceling pipelines and blocking drilling from day one. One was fighting our enemies abroad. The other was waging war on Americans. Yep. Sad. Crazy. Hey, we got to take a break. We got a couple calls to get to after that, but let's hear from our great sponsors, and then we'll come back, a Veterans Tribute, the weather, and then you, and there's room to call, 570-883-0098. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day, as with every day, brought to you by our man, John Basiliga, a true patriot, true friend of the vets and this area. Well, it's Hospitality Week at all of these amazing venues. The Old Brook Inn, Springbrook Township, 307. It's awesome. This is equally awesome. The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the great Trips Park section of West Scranton. And the Queen City Tavern right on the main drag, downtown Oliphant. They're the best bar restaurants you will ever go to. And they're fun, and the food's awesome. Go there for Hospitality Week. Any one of them or all of them. Fine dining, the best you will ever experience. Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre, South Franklin Street. It is incredible. In a turn-of-the-century mansion that you're just not going to believe. The Terra 519, a modern take on exceptional fine dining. It is awesome. Downtown Scranton. Robert Kimsel. We lost him at age 89 on March 24th. Born in Mount Carmel. He graduated from Catawissa High School in 1955, faithfully serving in the United States Army for 2 years, honorably discharged in 1961. During his tenure in the Army, he received commendation for his exceptional organizational skills. Robert married his loving wife, the former Shirley Dent, who preceded him to death in 24 in 1961. He enjoyed a 58-year career at Dillon Floral in Bloomsburg until retiring in 2013. Robert was a member of St. Columba Catholic Church, Bloomsburg, and a third-degree Knight of Columbus. Took great pride in maintaining his property. The hedges, the grass, the whole deal. He loved fishing in Canada, but most of all loved spending time with his family. Preceded in death by 4 siblings, but survived by his 3 beloved children, 5 grandchildren, a great-granddaughter, and still more 3 siblings. Robert Kimsel, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group, celebrating Basiliga Hospitality Week this week. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain Resort. Well, I just think weather when I think Montage. Today, a passing morning shower or two. Otherwise, clouds giving way to some sun. High 65. I don't think we're getting there. It's 54 right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, 42. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and warmer. The best day of the week, high 73, low 41. Friday, mostly cloudy, high 67, low 45. Saturday, chilly with occasional rain and drizzle, high 50, low 42. Sunday, times of clouds and sun, high 59, low 42 degrees. And that's your weather, brought to you by our great friends at Montage Mountain. Not Billy Gaughan. Steve Martin, again, not singing about Lackawanna County Commissioner Billy Gaughan. Steve Martin performed his hit King Tut, Saturday Night Live, in which he was hosting. Bob Cordaro back with you on, and then there's Bernie Sanders, just getting called out for being stupid. Yeah, we're in a cooling period. By the way, the Washington Post pointed it out. There's the level of insanity with these people. Just unreal. Absolutely unreal. Hey, let's go to, Joe Middleton He's got a connection with Jay and the Americans. How are you, brother? They'll be here May 2nd at the Kirby Center.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was tied up yesterday when you were talking to one of the original founding members, Sandy Dean.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank him if I could have got to him on the phone. On Tuesday, my former neighbor grew up with them, much older, of course. He would have been 94. Jerry Granahan, who had a big record in 1958 himself, top 25 hit on Billboard, No Chemise Please, in the 60s produced Jay and the Americans for United Artists Records. And as Sandy said yesterday, his favorite is Walking in the Rain, and his big one, he claims, was the remake of the Drifters, This Magic Moment. But probably because of the vocal talent of Jay Black, the second Jay after the original Jay Traynor, Cara Mia Mine, Jerry Granahan produced that, and that became a top 25 Billboard hit, Cashbox record. Now, you remember Ralph, of course, because the late Buddy Mecca, drummer, I believe, gave you drum lessons.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Well, now, Sandy.
Joe, they didn't take, but he gave them to me.
Okay, well, I'm not the one to judge that good, bad, or indifferent. But Sandy took from Ralph. No, the cat wasn't an original Strata native, northeastern Pennsylvania native, but Lenny Colacino, a bass player, played with Ralph for about 4 years, and then Sandy grabbed him immediately when he auditioned for the cast of Beatlemania on Broadway. A lot of people don't know the impact that some of the guys from Jay and the Americans had. They started Steely Dan. Two of the guys, Fagan and Becker, were backup musicians for them, and they went on to be Steely Dan. Sandy did a lot of things in the music business and continues to, one, of course, being the Beatlemania, and he took Lenny for that. And now Lenny, going back and forth with me, tells me he will be in Wilkes-Barre on Saturday, May 2nd, with Jay and the Americans.
Nice.
He's been with them on and off now for about a year, being a vocalist and bass player.
Very
so
nice.
There's two connections with locally with Jay and the Americans.
And Joe Middleton, our guy Joe Nardone, just keeps doing it. He just keeps doing it, and these amazing concerts. I'm looking forward to the second. It's going to be awesome. It really is.
Yeah, that it shall. And now two other Scranton area musicians are coming in for a lot of notoriety last night and this morning, because Dave Mason, who was a founding member of Traffic and then went on to be a solo artist and had a lot of big hits. He had the late Bobby Schumbers, a bass player from Scranton, in his band, and the current resident of Old Forge, Mark Lucarelli, was the drummer. They were out in circa 1980-81 with Dave Mason when he was still working off the hit We Just Disagree. That was on Columbia Records.
Well, you got it all for us. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure, Joe Middleton. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, Bobby. Later.
All right. Hey, let's go to Mike Linko. He's talking about the Unico Soccer Cup this Sunday, a fantastic annual event. Talk to me, Michael.
Bob, how are you?
Great.
How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Yeah, this Sunday we're having our Soccer Cup. It's our annual event. What it is that we showcase some of the best senior players from high schools, and we allow them to play one more game for posterity. This was supposed to be in the fall, but we had to postpone it with the weather, so we have it in the spring. And it kind of worked out good because we're going to dedicate the game in memory of our friend Melanie Naro.
Nice.
And as part of that process, we're also naming the Most Valuable Player Awards after Melanie.
And all right,
it's going to be a nice event.
So
it's
this
going to be
is
noon at Spartan Stadium. It's $5. The girls' game starts at 12. The boys' game will start about 2-ish.
Up at Mid-Valley High School.
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. All right, Mike, I have to go now, but feel free to call in again, okay?
I will. Thank you very much.
We'll remind
Bob.
the gang. Thank you. Unico Soccer Cup this Sunday, Mid-Valley High School. It'll be great. It really is a big deal, and it's a tradition you guys have been making very important. I appreciate it,
Trying to make it like the dream game.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, let's go to Sheila from Basiliga Hospitality. It's Hospitality Week. Are you pulling your hair out yet?
Not yet, Bob. It's only Wednesday. Talk to me on Saturday.
Well, tell us about some of the things you guys are doing. I'm excited about all this.
Yeah, so I mean, Hospitality Week was really just inspired by what everyone knows as Restaurant Weeks that, the different chambers do or, different organizations do to promote local business. And for us, since we have so many within our own group, we decided to kick off our own Hospitality Week. And it's really exciting because we do have quite a portfolio. We have entertainment at the Art House. We have a couple taverns for more casual dining. Of course, Queen City and Far Street. We also have Old Brook, who everybody knows and loves, and it's been around for, 14 years. And then we have Atira and Sergey's, and then also the Stegmeyer Mansions down in Wilkes-Barre. And we just thought, if we could just bring brand awareness to our group, so knowing that, you can go to all these different places. And what I was hearing mostly in the community was, wow, I didn't know you had that. Or, wow, we love to go to Old Brook. What else do you have? And I think for us, it's a chip program. You get the whole entire week. You visit one of our restaurants. We have special menus that are prefixed prices or different discounts and prices of things for you to try. You get a chip and you get they look like little tokens that you would, gamble with, I guess, per se. They have the restaurant's logo on it and you collect them as you go around. And if you could collect all of them, there's a $75 gift card for you at the end of it all.
Nice. And of course, Basilica Hospitality has the universal gift card. You buy
Correct.
it, you could use it for every place.
Yeah, you can use it everywhere, which is great. So we brought that out pretty much in the beginning after, we had Basilica Hospitality was born, which was a couple years ago. So that's very exciting. You could buy it anywhere. You can use it at any of the facilities, including the movie theater.
So I saw you Friday night briefly. Was it Friday or Saturday? Friday night.
Friday.
And
Friday, yeah.
at Atera. And they had that great event. I was bragging about it on Monday. The great event, which was fast food and caviar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
I mean,
it was the best slider
great.
I've ever had in my life. And the fries were better than McDonald's.
Definitely. So those French fries we actually use at the Art House movie theater, and everybody loves them. But the fast food and caviar is something new to the area, not new to the scene, but new to our scene.
Yeah.
Definitely in New York, there's a restaurant that does it. Marquis does it out there. They also sell caviar. It's definitely for, a palate that knows and loves it, similar to like how people love sushi or hate sushi. So I think for us as, pioneers in the hospitality and food industry, we always want to bring something maybe that's new or something you haven't tried before. Doesn't mean it's a permanent home on our menu. It just means this is something fun. Try it, be daring, come out of your comfort zone, have a little fun with food.
I'm telling you, the caviar was outstanding. The slider was outstanding. The French fries were amazing. So anything you guys do, really, when you put your mind, it's awesome. And this Hospitality Week, it's a great thing because it features amazing venues and even better prices than normal. It's great stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and we're actually going to do it again in the fall, so we'll do it like twice a year, which is exciting for everyone. Our newest one, the Stegmeyer Mansion, the Mary, our fine dining restaurant, we just came out with a brand new menu called the Everyday at the Mansion menu, and you can actually use that in conjunction with our standard menu, and it has more approachable items at a more approachable, price target for people who maybe don't want to have the more elevated, higher price tagged items. And it really just allows people to come in every day and not just on a special occasion.
Love it.
Not saying, it's only a Friday and Saturday night, time when we go there because we're splurging. Now you can come in on the weekdays as well.
I can't wait to go down and you have beautiful settings at the bar and in the bar area at the Mary Stegmeyer Mansion. And it's like you hang around with Annie all night. You can't beat it.
Oh, yeah. And prime rib on Sunday nights now, too. Now we're doing prime rib down there on Sunday nights. So that's very exciting, too.
Sheila, call in again. Thank you, my dear. Sheila from Basilica Hospitality Group. It's Bloomberg Money Minute now. We're finishing with Disturbed. Murph tells us they performed at Alcatraz in Milan, Italy. Their great version of Sound of Silence. Love it. Turned on by Larry from Pittston. I'm Larry from Plymouth, I mean. How about that? So we'll let that play in the background. By the way, just an announcement. Kohlberg Kravis Roberts, one of the first leveraged buyout companies in the world, abandoning New York City. It's enough. I mean, at some point you got to say basta. The left is insane, and we will not subject ourselves to it anymore. Unreal. Slick says, Bob, my libtard brother showed me a computer-generated pic of what Florida will look like in 20 years if we don't act now. I couldn't stop laughing. I guess he doesn't get that the computer spits out what you enter. You're right, Slick. It's insane. And they're falling for it. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to. I can't defend their lack of intelligence. I really can't. Hey, Jim from Hazleton, fire away quickly, my man.
Yeah, I guess you saved the best for last, my buddy.
Yes.
Anyway, my comment is on the straight to Hormuz. Donald Trump should just tell Iran that if you fire one bullet at one of those ships, it's going to be, like Jesse Waters said, bridge and power plant day. He should flood the zone with a bunch of ships and Black Hawk helicopters in there and just start taking them little boats out one at a time and make a point.
And they still have oil, so we could have them pay for our companies to go in and reconstruct Iran. But under no circumstances can we leave without finishing the job on this horrible, evil regime. Thank you, man. So as this continues, good stuff. I'm telling you guys, don't fall for these people. White man speak with forked tongue. Democrats speak with many forks. Well, as they continue to sing, we've got to go. I don't know what else to tell you. The Sue Henry Show's next. The Rob O'Donnell Show after that. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow morning. But for now, whether I like it or not, I've got to say sayonara. Have a great afternoon, guys. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me I'm done because it's noon.